हेलो ऑल, आप सभी का स्वागत है वामन मैटर्स में। आज हमारे साथ है डॉक्टर राजेश पारेख एंड ही इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पर्सन्स इन resilience, leadership and as well as in the entrepreneurial area related to that. और आज हम उनका इंटरव्यू लेने वाले हैं रिगार्डिंग रेजिलियंस साइंस। हम उनसे जानने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि रेजिलियंस साइंस है क्या, रेजिलियंस इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है और वो 21st सेंचुरी स्किल क्यों है अभी के इस सेंचुरी में। तो पहला सर, आपका बहुत स्वागत है वामन मैटर्स पे।
थैंक यू।
लेट्स बिगिन विद आवर क्वेश्चन। आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि रेजिलियंस इज ए वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट साइकोसोशल स्किल्स इस वक्त में?
Sure. So first of all, Rohit, thank you very much for the invitation to take part in the interview. Indeed, it's a privilege for me to be interviewed on Women Matters. Talking about resilience. So, Rohit, you know that today we are living in a VUCA world. No? What is the meaning of the word VUCA? VUCA simply means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. What is going to happen tomorrow, we don't know. None of us can ever predict what is going to happen maybe in the next moment. So with all of these things happening, it's very, very important for us to be able to develop resilience. Because in this VUCA world, when there is a lot of uncertainty, which is going to lead to a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, if we want to stay away from disease and if we want to stay away from medical problems, then we'll have to build what we call as resilience. So that is the reason why in today's times, it is very important for every single person to build resilience. Now, you may ask, what is resilience? Okay, so let me just explain what is resilience all about. So we all have certain goals in our life. We want to all accomplish everything. I want to accomplish everything. You want to accomplish. You want to ensure that Women Matter tomorrow reaches to a very big height. And I also want to ensure that I am able to help more and more number of people. So we have so many goals in our lives. But because of the VUCA world, because of uncertainty, sometimes we are not able to move towards our goals. And this leads to anxiety and stress. So resilience is developing the ability to continue moving towards the goals which we have set for ourselves, despite the challenging circumstances which can come up in front of us. So I have a very simple 3-word definition of resilience, and that is advancing despite adversity. So whatever helps you advance towards your goals, Rohit, is what is resilience. And I think that is a very important skill for today and for the next few years to come.
तो अभी आपने जो डेफिनेशन दी रेजिलियंस की, इम्पोर्टेंट एम्फेसिस था डिस्पाइट का। तो दैट इज वेरी मच क्रूशियल कि व्हाट मे हैपन वी विल मूव टुवर्ड्स आवर गोल, कितनी भी परेशानियां या प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाए। सो दैट वाज वेरी बेस्ट एंड प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन। आगे ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि अभी की दुनिया में रेजिलियंस के साथ कंपैशन भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है उसके साथ। तो एक मतलब वी नीड टू बी स्ट्रॉन्ग, यहाँ से हमें जो भी अचीव करना है कुछ भी, उसके साथ कंपैशन क्या रोल प्ले करता है, आप उसके ऊपर बेस्ट तरीके से बता सकते हैं?
Definitely. See, so when we talk about resilience, it is all about either personal resilience, it is all about resilient leadership, it is also about resilient mindset. You know, we all have heard about so many different mindsets, no? Positive mindset, growth mindset, fixed mindset. So likewise, there is resilient mindset. What is mindset? Mindset is the way in which we look at things, we approach things. So when we talk about a resilient mindset, how is it that we approach things so that we are able to develop resilience? And over here, a very important component is compassion. Okay? Because when we are trying to build resilience so that we are able to continue advancing despite adversity, we will need to have compassion towards others, and at the same time we will also need to have compassion towards ourselves. Others, why? Because see, there can be so many situations which can come up in front of us where we probably will have to accept whatever has happened. We will have to forgive the person. And to be able to forgive the person, we will have to have compassion. Okay. Then we can forgive, isn't it? Because today, if you see, there are so many people who cannot forgive and forget. And whole life, they keep on holding it. You know, they allow so many different people to occupy the real estate which is theirs. This is such a precious real estate. People don't realize that. And we allow other people to occupy this real estate. Now, if we were to develop compassion, then we would allow them to leave our real estate. We'll forgive them. We'll forget the problem which we had with them, and we'll live a wonderful life. So that is as far as others are concerned. When it comes to us, yes, sometimes, it could be possible that we may not live up to our own expectations. We may do some mistakes. We may have some problem. We may not be able to progress the way in which we want to progress. But at that time, it's very important for us to have self-compassion and to say it is okay. It is okay. If not today, we'll do it tomorrow. You fall down now today, no problem. You will get up and you will do it tomorrow. So that is where comes the role of compassion in helping a person develop a resilient mindset.
जो अभी आपने कहा वो बहुत खूबसूरत था। अगर ब्रेन इज लाइक रियल एस्टेट तो हमें सबको ऑक्यूपाई करना, सबको अलाउ नहीं करना चाहिए यहाँ पे रहने के लिए। लेकिन समथिंग मोर रिलेटेड टू दिस इज दैट अभी के वक्त में हम बहुत सारे क्राइम्स देख रहे हैं हमारे अराउंड। ओके, कोई बैंकरप्सी में है तो कोई किसी को मार डालता है, किसी को रिजेक्शन आया रोमांटिक कंटेक्स्ट में तो वो सीधा दे रिसोर्ट टू किलिंग, या किसी का स्टार्टअप फ्लरिश नहीं हो रहा है किसी कॉम्पिटिटर की वजह से, दे रिसोर्ट टू किल दैट पर्सन। और ये न्यूज हर वक्त ऑक्यूपाई करती रहती है हमारी दुनिया में। माय प्रिसाइज क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू दिस इज दैट जब हमारे साथ कुछ बुरा होता है, how we can take a stand our own for our own self without going for revenge, जो एकदम एंडलेस साइकिल है, कभी खत्म होने वाले cycle में। So how we can use resilience, compassion in the midst of something unjustful happening with us. So how to deal with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, let me give you a simple example which will illustrate to you exactly how is it that we can have compassion and resilience, which can help us deal with any situation which comes up in front of us, be it something which we have lost, or be it maybe a revenge, or be it somebody has done something wrong with us, or whatever it is. Okay, let me give you a simple example. Say I'm about to get married. Okay, I am married since 30 years, but I'm just giving an example. Say I'm about to get married and I go to the hairdresser and tell him that make me the most beautiful hairstyle possible. Now that hairdresser, he starts, doing all the things, cutting. I'm closing my eyes and waiting for the best haircut. But when I open my eyes, I see disaster. Now it is my wedding day today. I see disaster. I want to catch that person's throat and probably strangle that person's throat. I want to do that because it is a big day in my life and see what the person has done. But here is where we will have to accept the fact that, okay, it has happened. चलो हो गया. Okay? अभी हम हो गए उसके बारे में तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. That is number one. I have accepted. Second, I will have to forgive that person. क्योंकि मैं forgive नहीं करूंगा तब तक he will remain in my real estate. And शादी के टाइम पे भी वही मेरे यहाँ real estate में रहेगा rather than my wife to be. Okay? So second, I will have to forgive. Third, I will have to have gratitude. कि चलो ये तो हो गया, इसको जाने दो, but at least आज मेरी शादी तो है. I am going to get a life partner today. Fourth, I will have to have compassion. मुझे ये देखना पड़ेगा कि शायद आज ये बार्बर का बुरा दिन होगा, इसलिए उसने गलत सोचा. कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन today's day was not a good day for him or for me, and that is why this has happened. So that is compassion. And finally, I will have to remember the bigger purpose in my life. What is the bigger purpose? कि आज मेरी शादी हो जाए. Okay. So if I am able to follow these steps, that is, accept the fact, forgive that person, have gratitude that today I'm still going to get married, have compassion that maybe today it was a bad day for him. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Let me see what is it that I can do with this hairstyle. Maybe I can wear a cap. Maybe I can wear a wig. Maybe I can do something. Or maybe I can just go like this new style. Hmm? And then finally, remember the big purpose. The purpose is to get married. So if we have all these things in mind, no, then any challenge which comes up in front of us, any problem which comes up in front, any obstacle which comes up in front, we will be able to handle it in the best manner possible with lots of resilience and compassion.
This was a very beautiful description of my question. बहुत खूबसूरत था. इसमें ही मुझे रिलेटेड पूछना है कि हमारी जो रिलेशनशिप्स रहती है उसमें भी बहुत बार लाइक we have the expectations with our friends, siblings, or our life partner. And many a times, मतलब बहुत बार झगड़े होते हैं वो झगड़े बहुत लंबे हो जाते हैं. And we resort to violence, killing or doing something wrong to others. और बहुत बार भी स्ट्रीट फाइट्स भी हो जाती है जो पहचानते भी नहीं एक दूसरे को, लेकिन कुछ गलत हुआ तो उस इंसान को छोड़ते नहीं है.
Correct.
And personally I feel that ki why we humans prefer so much revenge over compassion and gratitude. क्यों हम कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स ऐसे मिडल पाथ से सॉल्व क्यों नहीं कर सकते? And why it is so much tough and difficult to practice mindfulness rather than going in a wrong direction? Why is it so much heavy for people?
All right. Let me address this question by helping you understand that, since years and years, since ages, people have always had a an approach where it is probably, something where a reactive approach. कि चलो कुछ हो जाए उसके बाद उसका solution ढूंढते हैं. ओके, वो ऑलरेडी रिवेंज लेता है उसके बाद उसको हम ठीक करते हैं. वो ऑलरेडी मार देता है उसके बाद रिहेबिलिटेशन होम में भेजते हैं. So we have always had a very reactive approach. I would like to say, why not develop a proactive approach? Because if we develop a proactive approach, then next time when the person is on the road and some car bangs him, we will not see road rage. Next time when there is disturbance with the spouse, we will not see a quarrel happening. Next time, whenever there is something, we will not see revenge being there. So my suggestion is that we should build resilience in a proactive manner. Now, how do we build resilience in a proactive manner? For that, we have to understand that resilience runs across 6 domains for us. 6. Okay. And if we are able to strengthen these 6 domains, very much strong, we have strengthened these 6 domains, then we will be able to develop so much resilience that all this will not bother to us at all. So what are these 6 domains? Domain number 1, vision. So a person should develop clarity of vision. What do I want to do in life? Where do I want to go? See, when the person wants to climb Mount Everest, that vision is clear. Whatever challenge comes in the way, the person will reach over there. Why? Because the vision is clear. So then all your obstacles in between can be taken off because vision is clear. That's number 1. Number 2, emotional intelligence. That is the second important part. Ability to remain calm and composed in any situation. So if somebody even comes and bangs the car from the back, you are still calm and composed. You walk out, you talk to that person, reason it out, go to the police station, solve the problem, and walk away from there. Rather than road rage. We have seen in road rage people killing each other. So emotional intelligence, that's the second one. The third one is called as reasoning. Reasoning basically involves problem solving skills and preparation skills. Okay, you need to be prepared for challenges. Let me give you an example. Supposing I'm going to Shady Okay, I know that there is going to be a lot of rush over there. I know it. Now, with that lot of rush, if I keep a wallet in my back pocket and I go there and I go like that, and if somebody comes and takes away my wallet, is there anything strange about it? No, it's not surprising. You invited trouble. So we should be prepared. If I say that I'm going to Shirdi or any other place which is crowded, maybe a mela or anything, I should always ensure that I keep it in my front pocket or I take minimum amount so that no robber can take it away from me. That is preparation. So we have to be well prepared. So that's the third domain. The fourth domain is health. A healthy mind can only be in a healthy body. If health is not there, then it is possible that this mind may probably go haywire. Okay. So it's very important for us to have good diet, sleep properly, exercise regularly, manage stress properly, and remain mindful. So all of these come under self-care, and that is the domain health. The next domain is persistence. So developing the ability to bounce back. You fall down, doesn't matter, get up again. Fall down, doesn't matter, get up again. So that is called as bouncing back, persistence. So when we develop the ability to remain self-motivated so that we can persist through any difficulty, we are able to reach our goal. And the last one is about collaboration. It is all about building the right type of networks. So if we have the right type of network in my difficult time, I will have to go and I will have a network available to me. I will have people who will be there to support me. Now, if we are able to strengthen, Rohit, if we are able to strengthen these 6 domains, now only when there is nothing going on, tomorrow, when something happens to us, because of the strengthening of these 6 domains, we will not get affected. Okay, we will not get affected. We will be able to progress towards our goals beautifully because we have already built enough resilience to handle any challenging situation which comes up in front of us. So my one message is, don't be reactive, be proactive. And proactiveness will always help us deal with any situation which comes up in front of us.
जो आपका आंसर था सर, ये बोलती बंद करने वाला आंसर था. Like this was a like the answer was like sword like answer. Best and perfect answer. Like nobody can question that. This was something very much soul satisfying answer that you gave. So moving to next question is that हमारा जो देश है, our country, since from 2000 years, like many religions have came in our nation, like Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Sikhism, many other spiritual philosophies, be it of Adivasi community or be it marginalized community. So being in this profession of mental health and resilience, so what is our traditional wisdom or knowledge about building up resilience? So that many times we get things from Europe or Western countries, लेकिन हमारे कंट्री में क्या ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज थी इसके बारे में?
Our country is the country which has given yoga. Our country has given pranayam. Our country has given us leaders or told us about leaders in the past who have demonstrated so much resilience. Rama, when he went to the jungle for 14 years, how much resilience it requires for Lord Rama to go to the jungle for 14 years and wait over there. Yeah. So you see all our history, the examples which we have in our past, they're all stories of resilience. So yes, whether it is Swami Vivekanand or it is Mahatma Gandhi, how much demonstration of resilience did Gandhiji do? Look at all our leaders in the past, so much resilience. And because of that resilience, we got independence. Okay. So we have plenty of examples and we should actually bank upon our own examples which we have rather than the West. Of course, I am open to knowledge from anywhere in the world, but we have to understand that our country itself has got vast resources which are there. And if we are able to tap those vast resources, it will enrich us so much that we will be able to handle anything which comes up in front of us. Mindfulness. We have always been talking about mindfulness. There are so many examples which we have seen related to mindfulness. Yeah, within our country also. Vipassana, which is again, something which is regular. So we have all of these centers in our country. The best of the knowledge is available to us, and we should utilize that. So I'm a firm believer, collect knowledge from everywhere. From our country, we are really going to get the best, but be open to learning from everywhere, because ultimately knowledge is power.
That was very sweet of you that you mentioned about Ramayana as well as Vipassana as well as Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, so many leaders. Like I have done MA in history, so I can resonate with you about the historical struggle अपने जो country ने किया. और इसके साथ और एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज पूछने की ये वर्ल्ड हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स पे कुछ कंट्रीज हर साल आती रहती है. My very positive question is that why, what is something good about resilience and compassion these countries have built over the decades and centuries, and what we can take from them so that we can bring it in our society or our country.
Mm. Yes, you're absolutely right. I also study the World Happiness Index every year, and I would really like to see our country also go up and up in the index, no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to that day when we are also in the top five. I have done extensive research in this area, to try and find out as to what is it that makes these countries always remain in the top, whether it is Finland or, what is it that makes them? And one thing which I found out common in all of these countries was the theory of minimalism. Minimalism. So they have really learned how to live with the minimal as required resources. Say, for example, simple example, if I need, say, 50,000 rupees every month for my survival, for everything, food, roti, kapda, makan, entertainment, all of those things which are there, then I will be happy at 50,000. I will not strive then for 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 5 lakh or 10 lakh or 1 crore. Okay. Why? Because 50,000 is taking care of all my needs. Hmm? Now we have to over here understand the difference between needs and wants. The problem with other countries is that the wants become more than the needs. And that is the reason why that 50 is not enough. When 50 comes, they are looking for 1. When 1 comes, they are looking for 10. When 10 comes, they are looking for 1 crore. And when 1 crore comes, they are looking for 100 crores. It is a never ending ride which is there. And when this is going on, how can happiness be there? How can happiness be there? So it is the theory of minimalism. They have understood that whatever is needed for us, let us see how we can have that much. Be happy with that. Be satisfied with that. Enjoy life with family. Have good work-life balance. And yes, life will be beautiful. Life is indeed beautiful for everyone. It is us who don't allow it to be beautiful by our wants becoming more and more and
One more question is that कि आपने you have progressed so much in your life till now, and which are the main people in your life or for whom you have like eternal gratitude, like what made you to go into entrepreneurship as well as to choose resilience and mental health care field. So I want to know your values and I want to know your turning point. Not I, the whole world wants to know. As
sure,
well as about your book
sure.
Unbreakable. Uh,
Hmm.
तो प्लीज सर आप उसके ऊपर बोलिए. We want to know.
Sure, definitely. I will let you know. So a very interesting history about me. So I am a medical doctor actually. I have done medicine. And after doing medicine, I specialized in an area called as industrial medicine. Now, industrial medicine qualifies you to start working in industries. So my first industry was Tata Steel. Thereafter moved on to Mahindra and Mahindra, then moved on to Bayer Crop Science. Now, when I was working in Bayer, at the end of my period over there, COVID struck. And when COVID struck, we found out that, it is affecting so many people. Anxiety, stress, all of these things were increasing. So I was told that let us roll out a resilience program for the entire organization. I underwent my first train the trainer from Germany to learn resilience, and we rolled out the program. And we saw so much benefit in all the participants that I really liked the topic very much. Being a doctor, I liked this topic very much. I said, this is something which I really need to work upon. And this is something which will help me really help other people be happy. So that's where, you know, the passion for resilience actually started. Thereafter, I did courses from USA, courses from Australia, courses from India, courses from various places all across the globe, and qualified myself so much. And I started practicing as a resilience coach and a resilience facilitator. And I also wrote the book on 7 habits of highly resilient people. So the turning point basically was one, COVID. The second turning point also was while COVID, during COVID, after COVID, a little after that, I suddenly developed a heart condition and I was admitted in the hospital for some time. Now, when I got discharged, I myself put into practice every single thing which I've always used to speak to everyone about. You know? So all the 6 domains, started strengthening them, started taking care of my health, lost a lot of weight, ensured that everything, at that time I read the complete Bhagavad Gita. At that time, I practiced a lot of mindfulness. At that time, I did a lot of pranayam, yoga, all of these things. And because of all of these things, when we actually did my angiography, it was totally normal. There was no need for anything to be done. And that is what once again reinforced my faith in the topic of resilience, that resilience can really help people come out of anything, whether it is a medical condition, whether it is a personal condition, whether any challenge which is there, it can help people come out of it in the best way. And that is what has motivated me to work in the area of resilience.
That was like absolute like ध्रुव तारा आंसर जो आसमान में ध्रुव तारा रहता है ना एकदम उसका एकदम चमकता रहता है आपका आंसर उसकी तरह ही था. I'm interested to know that you mentioned about Bhagavad Gita and Vipassana. तो ये जो एक कोट है कि कर्म कर्म करते जा फल की अपेक्षा मत कर. पीपल मिसअंडरस्टैंड इट एंड थिंक कि चलो हम काम करते रहेंगे तो पास है फेल है इससे लेना देना नहीं रखेंगे एम्बिशियस नहीं बनेंगे. बट पीपल हु डू विपස්සना और माइंडफुलनेस डू योगा प्राणायाम उनका कुछ एक्सपीरियंस ही अलग रहता है एंड दे स्टिल आर एम्बिशियस डूइंग एवरीथिंग अचीविंग इट. And some other people are thinking taking that quote in a very wrong way. So आपको क्या लगता है उसके बारे में? उसका relationship बहुत close है resilience और compassion के भी साथ.
Yeah. See, the important thing is, I always say this, that the important thing is the journey. Yeah. Of course, you will reach the destination, you will accomplish something which you have to accomplish. But if you don't enjoy the journey, how are you going to reach the destination? So that's where, if we translate the same thing in Hindi, it is said, Karam kiye ja, phal ki chinta mat kare insan. Okay. Now the important thing which we have to understand that अगर कर्म करेंगे तो फल अच्छा होने ही वाला है. बट अगर हम पहले से ही फल के बारे में सोचते रहेंगे कि मुझे यही चाहिए, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, वैसा ही होना चाहिए, तो जो जर्नी होती है ना, that journey gets impacted. Then we want things very fast. We don't develop patience to be able to wait, for the right time for us. We will have to put effort, no? Things don't happen easily, isn't it? All the successful people have not become successful easily overnight. And they have worked hard for so many years. And that's how they have got success. So when you keep on doing your duty, when you keep on doing the work, when you keep on doing hard work with passion, with resilience, with compassion, with all of those things which are there, the results will definitely be there. Okay. So yes, we should take it in the right manner. The quote is a very important quote, and we should take it in an appropriate manner. And if taken in an appropriate manner, it is something which will definitely help us. A wrong thing which many people do sometimes is that they just hope that thing will happen. They hope that कल लक खुल जाएगा, वो लकी थे, आज मैं मेरा लक नहीं है, कल मेरा लक शायद बढ़ जाएगा. It does not happen that way. Okay, we have to work hard for success. So when hard work and luck they get together, that is what leads to success. If we alone sit at luck, no, it is not really going to work. We have to put in the effort which is there to be able to do. A very, very nice story is there. There was once a person who was going in a river. Now, suddenly the river became flooded. Okay. Now, here this person was a God-fearing person, always used to take God's name. Bhagwan, तू ही सब कुछ करेगा मेरे लिए. So always used to do that. Okay. So now there was suddenly there was a, turbulence, and his boat turned upside down, and he was actually in the river. He did not really know swimming, but he was just trying to make himself. And then, another boat passed by from there and said, come with us. Why don't you come with us? He said, नहीं, मेरा तो भगवान है, पूरा भरोसा है भगवान के ऊपर, भगवान आएंगे, मेरी रक्षा करेंगे. Said, okay. One more boat went. Again they said, please come with us. Again he said, नहीं नहीं, मेरे भगवान आएंगे, मेरे पूरा भरोसा है भगवान के ऊपर, जो होगा अच्छे के लिए होगा, जो होगा वो देखा जाए, लेकिन भगवान आके मदद करेंगे. So much trust in God. फिर से वो चला गया. Now the water was actually going up and up and up. It was coming till his mouth. It came till here. And this is the time when he realized that he'll drown now. And that is the time when he shouted to God and said, God, full life I have prayed to you. Full life I did everything for you. And right now, where are you? When will you come to help me? And then God said, foolish person, those 2 times those person who came and asked you, it was me. But you never took that opportunity. You never realized that, and you decided to stay back, and now you will have to suffer. Okay? And then ultimately he had to suffer. So yes, God is there. We pray. We hope that things will happen. Karam karte jana hai, sab kuch karte jana hai. So we have to put in our hard work which is there, and if that hard work is there, no, then everything really goes well. Otherwise it doesn't go well. We have to put in that effort which is there. And that effort is actually going to lead to result. You cannot keep on waiting for some miracle to happen and something to happen to suddenly you will become a rich person, suddenly all your work will be done, suddenly all your obstacles will be solved. It doesn't happen that way. We have to put in effort.
तो लास्ट कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस है. एक तो जो नॉर्डिक कंट्रीज है वो टॉप करती है वर्ल्ड हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स में. तो वो कंट्रीज में मिनिमलिज्म रहता है जो आपने मेंशन किया, नीड्स और वांट्स का, लेकिन वहाँ पे इतनी तरक्की है क्यों? एंड प्लस वहाँ की इकोनॉमी भी अच्छी है, हैप्पीनेस भी अच्छी है, और वहाँ पे लाइक ये वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहता कैसा है वहाँ पे? लाइक इंडस्ट्रीज रहेंगी, प्रोडक्शन वाली इंडस्ट्री, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वाली इंडस्ट्री, सेम लाइक इंडिया. इंडिया में वर्किंग मतलब है तो 48 आवर्स गवर्नमेंट के हिसाब से वर्किंग आवर्स, लेकिन स्टिल एम्प्लॉयज वर्क फॉर 12 आवर्स, 13 आवर्स ए डे. So how to keep that work life balance जिसके वजह से we can become a resilient nation and a compassionate nation.
Right. So as far as the happiness index is concerned in all of these countries, as I said earlier, one of the reason was minimalism. There are many other reasons which are there. Yeah. The second reason, as you rightly pointed out, is work-life balance. They have a good work-life balance. They've decided to, uh, over there, you know, they don't insist that you wait after office time. And after office time, everybody is entitled to their own work, which is there. one of the reasons why those countries, I mean, what is the difference between those countries and our country? Let us say any country, for example, which may be at a little lower level. Disparity. Yeah, in those countries, if you see that people are nearly at a very similar level, everybody, all the citizens are at a very similar level. Okay, a little here and there. But if you look at our country, there is a vast difference. A person who is rich will be so rich that the person can do God knows how much, can have a helicopter also, can have everything. And a person who is poor can be so poor that that person may not even have 2 meals to have. Okay, so because of the large population, 1.40 crore population, with so much of disparity between people, it's a little difficult to attain that stage where we say that, okay, the entire state is at a state of, in the happiness index at a very high level. So that is a big difference which is there that is actually leading to this. Otherwise, I mean, in our country also, it is not that the work-life balance is not there. In most of the companies, people do leave offices by around 5, 5:30, reach home, have a good time with family. They're able to do that. But because of this disparity, if we look at the entire happiness index, it gets affected. Okay. Now, mainly to answer your question, what is the good work life? Over there, they allow them to go home and at the right time. They don't disturb them after office hours. They don't disturb them on weekends. Okay, that's a very clear-cut policy. No disturbance on the weekend, no disturbance after you have gone home. After you have gone home, it's home. That's it, nothing else. They have enough time to take part in maybe some hobbies, for example, badminton, table tennis, going out with children, playing in parks, doing all of those things which are there. So medical aid over there is completely free. Okay. So all of these things are being taken care of. Things which are very critical to a person are being taken care of. And if these are being taken care of, that leads to happiness. That is what leads to a very good work-life balance and leads to a happy state. The population over there is very less. So that's why everyone can be at a very, very similar sort of a level. Little disparity is always there, but that high disparities.
I think you said something very much important to the heart of the issue, disparity. And वहाँ पे आई थिंक ज़्यादा काम होता है वेलफेयर स्टेट कंसेप्ट का भी, state which looks after everything. This is something very much important that you told, and I request you to like mention like disparity in the sense अमीरी और गरीबी के हिसाब से आप कह रहे हो क्या?
Right, 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 right. Right. Very big difference. अमीरी गरीबी में बहुत फर्क हो जाता है. और फिर now if you want to take the entire country and make everybody, how do you make that person who does not have 2 meals a day also happy? No. So unless we are able to do something for that person, to see how is it that we can elevate that person to a particular level so that that person starts feeling happy, then things can become better. But otherwise, because of the disparity, that difference is going to remain. And because that difference is going to remain, unfortunately, happiness as a overall country, the index cannot go higher. Because the rich are becoming richer, the poor are becoming poor, staying poor. Yeah. So that is the situation.
This you said something very hard of the point. Like we started from something very personal, mindfulness, till we went in the society as a whole. So ये आपके साथ जर्नी करने में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. और एक मुझे इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल है कि आपकी जो अब तक 13 years की जो जर्नी है, like resilience, mindfulness, your own entrepreneurship from in resilient leadership, आपके पास ऐसे कुछ केस स्टडीज है जो आपको लगता है दिस वाज वन ऑफ योर बेस्ट वर्क, यू फील लाइक शेयरिंग अप रिगार्डिंग रेजिलियंस एंड कंपैशन, किसी में आपने चेंज लाया, लाइक व्हिच कैन इंस्पायर, कैन मेक आवर माइंड ओपन अब कि अच्छा ऐसा
Right.
हो गया था इस इंसान के साथ, अभी ऐसा हुआ है, सो समथिंग
Mm.
व्हिच यू फील लाइक शेयरिंग अप, हाँ ये बोलना चाहिए.
Yes, definitely. There are plenty of them. I write a newsletter on LinkedIn every single week, and every week I speak about somebody or the other. Last week I spoke about Sunita Williams, who has stayed in the space for 9 months, how much resilience she's had. And after that, she's now come back to Earth. The week before that, I spoke about our people, who are involved in the missiles. So many people I have spoken about in the past, but one case which maybe I can share with you is the case of Lata Khare. Lata Khare, she stayed in one of the small villages of Maharashtra, and she was leading an average life over there. But suddenly one day her husband fell ill. Now, because her husband fell ill, she took him to the doctor, but the doctor said that cannot be treated here. You will have to take him to Baramati because that was the largest town nearby. So the wife said, no, I will do whatever it takes, but I want to see to it that my husband becomes all right. So Lata Khare took him to Baramati. They went to Baramati. They somehow arranged some money to go there. After going to the hospital, they did all the investigation, all the tests and everything. Somehow they managed that. But now he needed a surgery. And that surgery was very expensive. She did not have any money with her now. So she took a decision. Both of them took a decision. As we cannot do anything, let us go back to our village and see how we can take care of ourselves in the best manner possible. They were very much dejected. And dejected, they went to the ST station. Now, while they were sitting over there, they got hungry. And they went to that, there was a samosa wala over there. So they went to the samosa wala person and asked for some samosas for both of them. So that vendor, he gave them samosas in a paper. She took the samosa, gave her husband, and she was also eating. And when she was eating, she actually saw an ad which stated Baramati Marathon and stated a very big prize. Now, when she saw that, she said, oh my God, if I do this, then my entire cost of the surgery will get covered and I will have enough money to take care of everything. So she found out the number of the people who were conducting the marathon that weekend and went to that person. Now she was in the 9 foot sari, as you know, in Maharashtra, in the remote places, women wear the 9 feet sari, which is there. So she was in that sari with chappals and she went there and told that person, I want to run in the marathon. That person looked at her like this and said, Madam, you cannot run the marathon like this. Okay. And as it is, the date for the last entry is already closed. And she said, Sir, but I have to run the marathon. You have to allow me to do that. And then he said, it is not possible. Number one, the date is gone. Number two, your attire. You don't have shoes. How will you run marathon? She said, Sir, I have to run the marathon under any circumstances. So she persisted and persisted. And eventually they gave in. They said, okay, we leave it to you. Go and run. And then she ran the marathon that weekend. And she won. And she won. Because on the day of the marathon, God knows where she got the energy, but she got so much energy to run so fast. Her only thought was that I have to save my husband. She developed so much resilience at that time. And she ran, and she got the first prize. She won the Baramati Marathon. Her records are there all over Google, and we can study her case study. She ran the marathon, got the money, had her husband operated, and they went back to the village and settled down and lived happily ever after. I think this story always inspires me because when a person decides to do something, the person develops energy, can go against all obstacles which are there, and can achieve the goal which they want to achieve. So it is, like I said in the definition, advancing despite adversity. So she decided that she wanted to advance despite all the adversity. Her attire not being correct, the last date having gone, she being overage, all these things were there. There were other good people who were there, competitors. But for her, it was her determination. I want to save the life of my husband, which made her get the prize. So this lady, she really inspires me, Rohit.
This was one of the best examples जो आपने अभी दिया, और ये एकदम बोलती बंद करने वाला एग्जाम्पल था. इनफैक्ट लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन मुझे लगता है इस एग्जाम्पल में था, बिकॉज द एनर्जेटिक शिफ्ट शी हैड फ्रॉम बीइंग ए विक्टिम ऑफ हर सिचुएशन जहाँ पे पैसे नहीं थे टू ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग इनटू ए समथिंग वेरी अनबिलीवेबल पर्सन. तो ये ऐसा एनर्जेटिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कैसे हम ह्यूमन बींग्स ला सकते हैं जब हमें लगता है कि कुछ नहीं अभी हमारे हाथ में, बस मार खाने और नॉकआउट पंच ही हम खा सकते हैं. हाउ दिस इज पॉसिबल, लाइक ए पर्सन हु डजंट इवन नो माइंडफुलनेस.
Purpose. Purpose has to be there. What am I doing it for? She had a purpose. She wanted to save the life of her husband. So we have to find out the why. What is my purpose? What is it that I want to achieve? The person who's climbing Mount Everest knows I want to achieve Mount Everest. The person who is swimming the English Channel knows I want to swim the English Channel. Bhakti Sharma, she has a TED talk on how I develop resilience swimming the English Channel. She said, while I was in the water, you know, it is not the external environment which was bothering, the fishes and everything, but it was the inner environment which I had to win. Once I won that inner environment, then the external environment didn't matter. Eventually, she swam all the 5 channels across the world. And she has a TED talk on how to build resilience, how I built resilience by swimming the English Channel.
सो लाइक दिस वाज द वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन, उसके बाद हम रैप अप करने वाले हैं.
No problem.
हम बहुत लोग अपने ट्रॉमा से हील नहीं हो पाते. लाइक एग्जांपल आपने किया, एक खरे मैम का आपने एग्जांपल दिया विलेज साइड के, वो उनके ट्रॉमा से हील हो पाए. बाद में आपने इंग्लिश चैनल स्विमर का एग्जांपल दिया कि वी शुड ऑलवेज ड्रीम, बट वो लोग जो अपने ड्रीम्स पूरे कर नहीं पाए, फेलियर फेस किया, सेटबैक्स फेस किया, वो ट्रॉमा में चले गए. इट कैन बी ड्रीम ऑफ अचीविंग a position, clearing an exam, creating a business or having a life partner. तो वो तो विक्टिम बन जाता है, बाद में वो इश्यूज हो जाते हैं. तो इसका आंसर क्या है, आपको क्या लगता है?
So there are two things over here. One is, as I said, we always, each and every one of us, I feel we should be proactive in building resilience. So we must strengthen the 6 domains. Okay, that is number one. But that is a preventive part. Now with all these people, prevention has not happened. That's the reason why they have a problem. So if we already have a problem and the trauma is already there, then we have to see how to deal with that trauma. Then slowly and steadily, we have to make that person accept the reality. We have to make that person see how that person can deal with the new situation which has come up in front of that person. And eventually we have to see how is it that we can help that person move ahead in the direction. Develop a vision now. What do you want to do? Develop that, find out a why, help the person go in that direction. And by following these 3 steps, I'm sure we'll be able to help any trauma affected person also come out of the trauma and move towards a goal which they can set for themselves.
The good thing is that शायद हमारा जो ब्रेन है उसको इवोल्यूशन में जैसे बनाया है, इट इज वेरी बुलेट प्रूफ टाइप ऑफ ब्रेन, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. आई थिंक हमारा प्री फ्रंटल कोर्टेक्स प्लेज ए इम्पोर्टेंट रोल.
Absolutely.
आपको कुछ add up करना है इसमें, like you said, we can make that person to have a vision again despite facing everything as a problem.
See, what the topic which you have brought out is neuroscience.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what happens, no? People with trauma, they are generally in the reactive part of the brain, the limbic region of the brain. And if they stay in the limbic region, then they will not be able to find solution because they are in a very problem-oriented mindset. They will always look at problems, why it happened, what is the cause, who is the cause, what will I do, how can I take, what can I, etc., etc. But if we support them into moving from the limbic region to the smart region, that is the prefrontal cortex, they will then come out of the limbic region, they will manage their emotions, and they will find out ways and means by which they are able to deal with the situation now. They will understand that, okay, now the situation has happened, the traumatic part has already happened and it is gone. Now let us see what is it that we can do so that we can come out. So they develop what we call as a solution-oriented mindset. They come out of a problem-oriented mindset and they go to a solution-oriented mindset. So the only way in which we can help these people is to see how we can take them into a solution-oriented mindset.
That was very something awesome. और अगर आपको कुछ किताबें पता है, आपको खुद के आर्टिकल्स पता है जिसमें आपने लिम्बिक और इसके प्री फ्रंटल समथिंग जो आपने कहा साइंटिफिक, ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग. इफ यू नो एनी आर्टिकल्स बुक्स, वी विल लाइक आपकी भी किताबें वो भी लाइक people
My book
how
has
we
got
can.
neuroscience, a chapter on neuroscience,
Okay,
and
so
it has got all the tips and techniques which can definitely help a person become resilient. It has got 7 habits, and if we follow these 7 habits religiously, you throughout your life, you will be able to be resilient.
इनफैक्ट अदर बुक्स जो आपको इंस्पायर किया ये साइंस ऑफ रेजिलियंस पढ़ने में, इफ यू नो एनीथिंग, आवर ऑडियंस विल बी हैप्पी टू लाइक नो इट थ्रू यू. दे विल बी एबल टू गेट सम एक्सेस जहाँ पे इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपिटल ही नहीं किसी के फैमिली में ड्यू टू मार्जिनलाइजेशन और समथिंग.
No, there are plenty of books which I have read. I have read books by the Mayo Clinic in USA. I have read books by Driven in Australia. I have read books which are written by Avaris in Germany. And Avaris is a company in Germany who gives resilience treatment. They coach in resilience, train in resilience, and support people in the area of resilience. So all these organizations have published their books, and I have gone through all of them. I have an excellent collection of each and every one of them. And these are some things which always keep on inspiring. I keep on reading. As I said, every week I keep on writing. So for that writing, I have to research, and that research helps me remain updated in the area of resilience.
थैंक यू सो मच. और आपने जो किताबें कहा जो मेंशन किया अलग अलग, आई थिंक पब्लिकेशंस हाउस दे आर, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, और कंपनी आई डोंट, just so people buy those books as well as your book also. And thank you so much for being so much honest about the science of resilience and about everything. I have deep gratitude that you got ready to speak. There are millions of people like who don't bother to respond messages, but you bothered to respond that message regarding the interview. And I really admire your generosity and humbleness. This will always inspire me personally to go ahead in life, respond to other people who are in problem, whoever comes to me. Thank you so much, sir. And uh, I just have best wishes for you for your more good
Thank you.
success in your career ahead. And keep prospering. Thank you so much for taking the decision to come on Women Matters and speak with so many people. Have
My pleasure.
a great time.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir.